We've still got the debt crisis weighing on the euro, and on the other hand, there are doubts regarding the US economy that plagues still. So the way forward, as you see it, for the euro dollar, because certainly today that rand has come under quite a bit of pressure.
Indeed, if you look at yesterday's data, yesterday's labour market data came out better than expected in the United States, which soothed global growth fears and provided some relief to risky assets such as equity markets and emerging market currencies. And on the basis of that, we saw the rand really weakening yesterday morning to about 635, just short of our target of about, sorry, not 635, 735, just short of our target of 738. And it recovered towards later during the day, but it failed to sustain a breach of 717. We do believe that the rand seems to be vulnerable to the global outlook at this point and the sovereign debt fears that you mentioned. And because of that reason, we still see a target towards 750, if not 780. And if today's retail sales data comes out and disappoints, we could see we are possibly looking for a target of 738 to the top side. However, if the data impresses, we could see a retracement back to 696. But on the euro dollar front, as you mentioned earlier, we do see some pressure coming under from the euro side as well. We have seen that the euro debt concerns is not alleviating at this point, and it is providing downward pressure on the euro.
Well, certainly the dollar is under pressure as well from speculation that the Fed may launch a third bond buying program, and that to bolster the economy. As we wrap this week up, and given all that's played out in the course of this week, QE3 more of a possibility than not, or vice versa?
I think it's more of a possibility at this point, but we don't know to what extent that QE3, if it is implemented, will assist the US economy. We saw QE1 and QE2 not providing the correct, or rather not providing the type of stimulus that was required. And whether QE3 is implemented, will it provide the necessary stimulus to the economy that is needed and to get the US economy out of the rut that it's currently in?
Certainly lots of ifs about at this stage, and that uncertainty still heightening the allure of safe havens like the Swiss franc. The yen has also seen some strength filter through, but investors are still staying pretty wary of possible intervention, especially after we had the Japanese finance minister saying that he would closely work with the global community as a whole to maintain market stability. What's the likelihood of coordinated intervention coming through at this stage?
There is a possibility. I think there's a race to the bottom. Countries want to see their currencies weaken so that the recovery process is easier and could possibly be quicker. We saw the Swiss National Bank, as you mentioned earlier, also try to peg to the dollar, and we saw some weakness there as well. But whether we're likely to see combined intervention at this point it is a possibility, but it may take some time.
Well, I was looking at the kind of action we've seen from the SARB. It's been pretty limited in terms of what they've done in a bid to defend the rand. Let's take a look at the overall economic scenario, though, because where South African Reserve Bank movement or activity is being watched very closely pertains more so to the kind of action we could see come through on the interest rate front. We've had the possibility of tightening resuming, with regards to that rate cycle being pushed out even further at this stage, while the chances of a rate cut coming through has increased significantly.
Indeed, that has increased. We saw the farm markets yesterday pricing in a probability, albeit very small, at 5% of a rate cut. Standard Bank is still of the view currently that the interest rates will remain on hold for this year, and the possibility of a rate hike coming in later than the first quarter of next year is the possibility of that is increasing. So we do see the interest rate cycle probably remaining accommodative for some time.